Hey guys, welcome back. I'm very pleased to announce that I am back on Olympus Map and on the iMine server. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I have managed to resolve my shadows, and you can see in the background there we have shadows. So I had to myself, tried so many things. I don't know in the end which one of the things it was that resolved it, but it seems to be that only this specific set of settings for my shadows will work. So I always have the where is the shadow one up there? Distance field shadowing. I always have that turned on. I always have, well, I had general shadows and terrain shadows on epic before. I've turned those down now to high and epic, and sky quality also seems to affect shadows as well. So again, this only this set, if I was to change the shadows now, would get it immediately back again, regardless of whether I've restart or not. It seems to have been a problem. So, but hopefully, fingers crossed, as I said, it's not going to be too dark or too because that's the other thing. You turn shadows up, it tends to get a bit more dark, obviously, because you've got. So I was looking for somewhere in between, and I had previously been able to change it and not had a problem. So yeah, fingers crossed we get no problems now. So yeah, long story short, I'm back on Olympus, and I've been building a new little area. So if you were keen-eyed in one of the previous videos, you'd have seen this little rickety staircase coming down the mountain here that I've done. So that's up where the kitchen is. Obviously, that's that bit below where the dinos is hidden away, and the Jenny is hidden away in there. The circular thing around the little pond. And I built this kind of. I mean, it's got. I've laid the footprint of it, so it's got a lot of work to do still. But this is roughly the footprint I think I'm going to use. Those two sloped wall things sticking out, I think, are going to end up being a balcony. And the idea of this is going to be my kind of my bedroom area. Well, that's glitched into the terrain there, but I'm going to show you. Sorry, let me show you back up top. So I bought this little rickety stable pathway stairway down. This is from the Eco Stable mod. So you can see how I've kind of got just a little sort of glitched into the floor, so it's not too obtrusive up here. And then so you come down the steps. These take some fiddling and finagling to get them that tight into the hillside. And the only other thing I noticed with these, which is a little bit frustrating, and I was trying to find a way around it, is that you can't put two sloped steps next to each other. So you can't follow this with an immediate next slope. You have to have a flat. And obviously what that means is you end up taking up more space than you want to. I kind of just wanted to go straight down as much as I could, have that as vertical as I could, but came out all right. And you also can't do stuff like you can't put these corner pieces right against the stairs. So you have to have a flat to have then a corner, or have another another set of stairs down. Also, you get, it's not doing it too badly now, but you tend to get quite often that the railings kind of ramp you, so it's quite easy to end up walking up on the railing and obviously over the top and down to your death, which isn't great, which is actually why I haven't got one here. I had to place a fence foundation there and tricked it, because you can't actually usually come off the side of one of these. So yeah, this is going to be, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I don't know if this foundation is going to stay. Eventually this is going to link onto my wall, which is that kind of mess of foundations and stuff over there at the moment. It's going to be, as I said in a previous episode, it's going to follow the shape of the curve there. It's going to be reflected over there and over there by the big redwood tree. So yeah, I've done a little bit of detailing on the also did a little bit of detailing on the side of this hill, because it's quite stark here. This edge. If you look below me, it's quite. The map maker didn't kind of put any details into the side of the mountain. I don't know if maybe you can't or something. There's limitations of the terrain making or something that you get kind of stuck with these barren edges, or they just did it to kind of be efficient. I don't know. But yeah, so I've added a couple of little bushes, a rock up there, a tree up there, overhanging tree. I think I'll probably do more of that as we go on, just to make it not quite so bleak. And I think I'll do probably, so if you look at the mountainside over there, so it's like nothing in that, it's just pure terrain, and it's just a bit featureless. So I probably will add, even if it's just the odd rock or little bit of foliage, just to make it a bit more interesting. Like that texture up there is nice, and even with ground clutter and on max, you don't get anything else on those rocks over there. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a rough idea of the design that I'm going to do for this. Then I'm going to do some progress, then I'm going to bring you back. So if I just switch my HUD on. So if you happen to have seen the video that I put out in the kind of holding pattern that I was in when I was trying to sort Olympus out, I put a video up about a single player build that I'd done on Ragnarok. And I had used this design there on my workshop, and I think I'm going to use it again. So what I need is, that's not right, pick that up. So this is going to be my bedroom, so it's got to be a bit more interesting looking. So I've used this design, as I said, I've used this design before and I quite like it. So I'm going to use basically I'm going to do that. That's going to be, so this is a railing, a door, another railing, and then the stained glass windows from, that's a crotch shot. Oh yeah, that's definitely a crotch shot. So, and I probably will paint this or do some more detail on the outside of it, but that's roughly that's kind of the basis of the design idea. And also what I've done, just to make this a bit more regular, I quite like doing this actually as well, is that, so when you lay down a sort of a foundation like this, it's very tempting just to follow the lines of that foundation and build around the edges of it. But I actually think, I sometimes find it's more interesting and makes more dynamic sort of shapes to add fence foundations into the structure as well. So I've actually got a fence foundation just bisecting that floor there, so that I can do a different angle. So you see it's going right down the middle of that triangle piece there. So yeah, I'm gonna play around with the shape a bit and not just have it kind of follow the edge of this platform. All right, guys. So I'll do some progress and then I'll bring you back. So I've made some progress. I've done a few bits and pieces. As I said, I've put the walls up now, and I've put a couple of I've put the outer wall up, the edge of the outer wall up all round, because it's kind of awkward actually having to get just the clipping was kind of awkward, the snaps were kind of awkward. I've done them back to front as well, because it's just a bit more interesting from the outside. And then I'm working on this thing, which is, I'm not sure this is going to work, but I'm playing around with the idea of like a custom fireplace, and I wanted the idea of a fireplace that was kind of inside and outside. So what I've done so far is various bits and pieces put together here. So this is a cauldron this is a cauldron on the outside, that outer ring there, from, I think it's from the ship Advanced Rafts mod, I think it might be from CKF, I can't remember, with a normal fireplace clipped into the floor as well. Both of those things are lowered down on hidden shelves. Let's see if I can pull this out without damaging anything. Yeah, okay, I'll drop down, see if I can drop down. Yeah, so those are snapped down into the floor with shelves to hide them away. Oh no, now I've got to get out again. Oh! Where's my crossbow gone? Oh, it's there. It's amazing how when you're recording, you're just blind by things. Let's try picking this up. Let's try getting out this way. Probably was a bad idea. So yeah, it's that cauldron, the fireplace. These are the artifact pedestals. These are these pillars here. I had to put another fence foundation down to get them in the middle of the wall like that, in the middle of the door, and that's a door frame obviously. And this is actually from the stable mod. Oh no, I can't get to the hitbox of it now. But there's pillars that I've used in a bunch of places actually. This pillar up here, hold on, let me show you. So it's the same as this pillar, but you can switch it to brick. I don't actually just realised that. So yeah, and obviously that's supposed to be like a part of a fire surround. And then the other idea that I had, which again I'm not sure whether this is going to work or not. At the moment, the challenge of this is how to get a mantelpiece in. So I've got these shelves, but the shelves for some reason won't clip because of the door. They don't consider that to be something that they can snap to. I can snap it to one side and have it kind of coming across like that, but really what you want, I mean, I don't want that bit of metal in the middle, so obviously what I want is just that shelf going all the way across. I haven't worked out how to do that yet. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. I shall see. And then the other thing I was looking at, playing around with the idea of and again I have no idea this is going to work or not, is like a mezzanine, not even like a mezzanine actually, like a, I can't remember what these have got a Dutch name, but I can't remember what they're called in. It's effectively like a cabin bed. So it's like a bed, but it's up on like a small platform. So it's kind of going to be boxed in, and there'll be a ladder down here, so that I still keep this floor space underneath. Not sure why I need it, but it's just because it's quite tight space, and just was an idea really. I don't know if I'd be able to do. I mean, I might even be able to do something like that. So when you first kind of play with these ideas, until you've actually kind of honed them, and sometimes you do things and they just look really odd. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. See, if I could snap that, if I could hide that all away, I mean, I won't really be able to mock this up for you right now, but if you imagine, see where that brick is, I'm obviously not using this piece, but if I could hide it away like that, so you didn't see that it was snapped to the legs, it would look like a raised bed, and then I could probably somehow get a ladder up to it, using a glass ceiling somewhere. The trouble is, I think it doesn't consider that bit where the mattress is there to be actually a surface I can snap onto. Effectively, I think this is just a box. It doesn't. Let's see what happens when I shoot my crossbow into it. Let's just see if it actually. I mean, this is sometimes the way you check if it will actually let me shoot through there. No, see, it doesn't. It's a solid piece of structure, so it doesn't care that there's that extra piece there. It's a solid piece of. Oh, actually, no, it did let me clip through there. So yeah, so those are the two kind of weird ideas at the moment that I'm playing with. Whether they come together or not, I have no idea. So it's just started raining as it always does. So I'm going to carry on, guys, and I'll bring you back when I've done some more progress. Okay, so progress has been made. Quite a bit of progress, actually. Let's get down there and have a look at it. Actually, I kind of ran off a little bit. So remember that I'm supposed to be recording. So yeah, I've done quite a bit. Quite a lot to this now. Painted it and stuff. So yeah, it's got more to do. Obviously, I haven't got a roof yet. I haven't worked out to yet. But so what have we got here? So I think when I left you, I had done sort of the footprint, the half wall around the edge. Obviously, I've finished those walls off. I've painted them in the tan colour and done this little kind of sitting area. Built myself a custom fireplace. I think I had started this idea. Yeah, I had started this idea. I originally had the cauldron in there. And I was playing with the idea of having it as a sort of outside-inside thing, whether you could see it from the fire from the outside as well. But I ended up abandoning that. I couldn't get the aesthetic to look right. So what I've done is I've placed two walls very close together there using another fence foundation. I've hidden that away on the outside. I've done it as well as I possibly could have done, but that gives you this kind of recessed effect. That looks like a fireplace. Obviously, I've got the actual fire pit itself in the floor. Got some of those pillars that I showed you before, the stable pillars there. Let's see if I've got. So yeah, stable pillar there. Turn to the brick. Got a fire guard. Got a couple of pillars on the outside. Built this mantelpiece thing out of shelves. I did have to. I think I was talking about there being a problem of getting this across. I had to put a glass wall in there. So there's actually another layer of that. There's a glass wall kind of cheated into the background there somewhere. Done a bit of decoration. Put some candles up. Not sure what I'm going to paint on those yet, or if I'm going to paint them at all. Kind of like them anyway. Sofa, and then I've built this kind of weird. I remembered what the Dutch word. I don't really know why I know the Dutch word, but it is sort of it's called a kiva in Dutch, kiva or kiba. It's basically just like a raised bed platform, cabin bed sort of thing. I didn't have one of these when I was a kid, so that's maybe the weird reason why I've built one of these. I wanted one. My brother had one. So yeah, so you go up to sort of steps up to it. I couldn't get a ladder to work. I could probably, if I really messed around with it for a long time, could get a ladder to work. The trouble was, the only way to get a ladder in there was really to put a glass ceiling in. But the glass ceiling was either going to obtrude into the room or stop me from actually getting onto the bed. So I can access this. It's slightly clipped off into the wall, but you can't really notice that. And then that gives me this little work surface space sort of desk thing down here. Yeah, and so that's it at the moment. I've got to finish the roof. Got to do something with this kind of outside space. I have got underfloor space, but those are just there as a scaffolding. Don't know if I'm going to do anything with those yet. I might just finish off this outside space. I've got an idea for the roof as well, which I'll bring you back for. Right, guys, so I'm going to do some more and then I'll bring you back. Hopefully not quite so much this time. Hey guys, so I think we're nearly done with this. I have spent lots of time trying to get the roof right. I'll show you in a second, but yeah, I ended up going with Adobe, and I wanted this kind of overhanging thing. So this is what it looks like from inside. I'm pretty happy with it. Overhangs on the outside here as well. I've done a little bit of work with these stable pillars that I've used in a bunch of places just to keep it looking sort of consistent, and also to make it look like that roof is supported up there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I've just got a few little kind of dress pieces to do now. and a little bit of painting here and there. So I thought I'd just bring you along just for that last little steps, just so you can see kind of doing there. Was somewhere I needed to paint there. Missed it. It's the one I did the long region. Okay, yeah, so I've got a bit, I mean, I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this outside area. I think I'm just going to rail that off, but I think I'm going to do something other than this foundation piece here. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of run around and dress it a little bit. Do some little kind of finishing aesthetic pieces. I made a flag somewhere, but I can see that. I don't know what that is. Sometimes when as soon as you start recording, you lose stuff. So I ended up with this little bit sticking out down here. So I thought rather than sort of pretend that it's not supposed to be there, you're going to incorporate it in. A little flag. That one, I think I'm going to leave that there. So yeah, what I thought I'd do, I've ended up with this big kind of expansive wall here. So this may or may not really work, but I think I'm just going to kind of some little random things on this wall. See if it kind of works. Just to kind of break up the surface really. The other thing that's a little bit trying to hide away is the fact that when you use the railings, you can see the half wall there. That was obviously a railing that I've turned into a half wall. It's interesting. It doesn't quite line up with the full wall above it. So you get this annoying little thing where it's that effect on the see those little sort of batting pieces. So yeah, I'm just going to sort of scatter some shelves around here. One more, but this is the one again. It's that. This is more, less is more sometimes. And then I've got a couple of bits to put up there. I was going to put the bear's head in, but we'll see. See what. Yeah, so I've said this before, what I tend to do with when I'm kind of dressing a space is to be careful not to overdo it, because you can end up with just sort of stuff in places just for the sake of it, and can just look a little bit kind of hectic and a little bit over the top. See, like that, sort of just feeling like that's all bit too much, all of those things. So I think I'm actually just going to stick with these and put some bits and pieces up. I'm quite happy with the way the bed's turned out actually. I was a bit worried that the bed might be a bit glitchy, but it's actually not. It actually works out really well. Tell you what, we're going to see if we can get a book for the sake of it. I was going to use the message in a bottle thing from, I can't remember which book that's from, but it's so massive. It sort of looks a bit silly, really. Its head above. Let's give it a go. I think that's just a little bit too much. Yeah, just a few. Yeah, I think I actually might do it. I mean, let's see if I can get this pot up there. Better up on that top one. There, I think I'll do it actually. Don't want to go too crazy. Bottle. Say that, and I say it's enough. It tends to be how I build, guys. It's always a bit quite slow. That's why I'm not probably ever going to sort of show you the whole step-by-step process, because I tend to fiddle when I change things, and I go back and I step back and look at them. Yeah, I think I'm actually happy with that. That's just broken up that space a little bit. I think, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we might call it enough there. So just a couple more bits to do. I just want to put. I might actually just leave that outside space, keeping it like. Get a couple more. Where is it? It's in part. It's amazing building with the S Plus and the puller and all those sorts of things. You sort of take it for granted now, but can't remember playing. Can't really ever remember playing without. I can't actually ever imagine. Can't imagine actually playing without S Plus or even the puller. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll just show you the file. I guess I'll just. So actually, a bit of realism. I have to place the fire guard to get the fire. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this actually. Kind of cute, kind of weird little. Done something a little bit weird, which is what I always seem to end up doing. So yeah, I hope you like it, guys. Not sure how long this is going to end up being, so if you stuck with it to the end, then I really appreciate that. Yeah, so I hope you had a good one, guys. Take it easy. Bye.